Okay, hello there. Welcome to my channel, Life, Home, and My Linux Journeys. Although sometimes I venture into BSDs. But in this video, I'm going to cover Linux Lite. I've covered Linux Lite exactly 1 year ago today, or not today, but this month, I should have said. And I'm really going to show you the same kind of stuff. However, there must have been some improvements. For instance, I don't get the Network Manager applet twice in the sys tray. That's no longer an issue. So let me get over to my desktop and we'll look at that. All right, so let me bring up a terminal, run a neofetch, and we'll should still hear the tune that it's going to play. All right, so this is Linux Lite 6.4 on the X555LA, which is a ASUS laptop, running the 515 kernel, Xfce desktop. All right, this is Linux Lite 6.4, Ubuntu, ID Lite, or ID Ubuntu, ID Lite, Debian. So I've got it set up. Let me just bring up this first. I installed Linux Lite on this machine, the ASUS, on the June the 22nd. Today is July the 6th, so almost 2 weeks, I guess. And I tell you, I've just been having fun in it. I remember looking at it before thinking, well, how come I don't use it? But here's the thing. I've been using Linux Mint up until a month or so ago when I changed to Linux Mint Debian Edition. And as you know, Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu. So I felt like I was using one of the Ubuntus. And when I installed OpenSUSE on that machine, I lost that Ubuntu install. So in order to run a Ubuntu install, a spin of Ubuntu, I chose Linux Lite to put on this machine just to see how it would run. And we're running UEFI. We got the Linux 515 kernel. The display server is X11. It's got 12 gigs of memory. It's using 1.1 gigabyte, and it's registering here 23 gigabytes of RAM. But as you'll see here, I did not install using RAM, only the ZRAM. And I told ZRAM to double the amount of system RAM, which was 12 gigs. And now you can see here the ZRAM has doubled that and is using 24 gigs. Got no swap partition on this system at all. And let's look at my menu here. I got Featherpad, GNOME Disk, that's Thunar, OBS Studio, Kdenlive, Audacity, Krita, VocoScreen, Simple Screen Recorder, System Monitor, System Monitoring Center, Help Manual. I put that took it off the desktop and put it in my favorites here. Install Updates VirtualBox. I got that up and running. I was a little surprised, and I'll show you the reason why. When you look at About, it's 6.1.38 Ubuntu revision 153.438, and if you have used, or if you're using VirtualBox, you know that the latest one is 7 point something. So we're way behind here, and I guess it's because it's running a Lite kernel, but it does work. It absolutely does work. System information. This is hard info. They got this incorporated into the system, which is really nice. And you'll see it recognizes Linux Lite as the operating system. All right, so this is their menu, but I have made it my own. And you can see I created a other category which has Aquarium that I had to install as a snap package, which I didn't really like doing. A Balena Etcher, I've got that in here. I just moved it into my others. Help Manual, I got that here. Icebreaker is a game, which I had no idea why it shows up here and here. But anyway, Impression, a USB writer. and a la carte is the main menu. It does come with Mint Stick, which has a USB formatter and a USB writer included in their packages. I've got everything that I wanted to install on a system. Everything that I use on a system and want on a system is installed here. One thing I hadn't made up my mind about yet is, let's look at how many flat packs I've actually installed. And you'll see, let's see, Voco screen, make MKV, impression, blender, some codecs, cheese, Caden Live, Krita, Nomax, and OpenShot. Clear that screen. Let's look at the snap list. Here's the one that I had to install, or if I was going to use it or use it on this machine, I was going to have to use it as a snap, as far as I could tell. Firefox comes in installed as a snap, and snap V. Now, I'm not sure, like I said, how I feel about snaps. I'm going to keep Firefox as a snap, and I'm going to use this ASUS Aquarium and just see if I notice any differences between Firefox snap package and Firefox binary package or even flat pack. And I don't know. One thing we're going to do though here, let me bring up a terminal. We're going to install an app, sudo apt install Linus. We're going to run Linus. Now I want you to notice though here, go to their settings panel, go to their firewall, and give it the password, and it's enabled. Now it's not enabled by default. You'll have to come in here and do it either graphically like this or do it in the terminal command prompt. So we got that set up. So let's clear the screen again. Say sudo and let's see what score we get. So in case you're wondering, I have the laptop hooked up in front of me right here, and off to my right I have it hooked, the laptop is hooked up to a monitor or a TV with a lot bigger screen. I think this resolution is 13 something by something, not 1920 by 1080 for sure. Checking firewall, Mod Pro config was disabled. SSH is not even installed by default, so if you want to use the secure shell, you'll have to sudo apt install SSH, and it will be enabled by default. So if you don't want it running all the time, you'll have to disable it. Checking the apt package database. So far, okay. It working. Your services. I did record the installation, but it was a Calamaris install, so I chose not to even show it. If you've done one Calamaris install, you've done them all. Plus, it's really not that hard. And while that's running, I still have the same complaint about their welcome screen. But don't mess up the running there. But right here, it says install now. And I haven't clicked on that, but it's there. I could click on it. Wow, something's holding us up under cryptography. Unreliable NTP peers, network time protocol was found. I know the system is slow, but it does have an SSD in it. There we go. Different. Okay, let's see what we scored. A 58. So that is not really good. It's not the worst I've seen. And I would have to go through here and make some changes to increase that. And I probably will, since I really do plan on leaving this Linux Lite on this ASUS laptop for at least another month. Just give it a good shot. So I'm going to see what I can do about increasing that. And if you're going to use it for browsing the internet and that kind of stuff, I would suggest you do the same thing. That actually kind of surprises me. But anyway, so that's going to do it for this review, so to speak, on Linux Lite. Tell you, I just kind of really like it. And so far I have no real complaints other than that install button remaining on the welcome screen. And before I wipe this laptop out and repave it or install another system on it, I will click on that button just to see. And if it carries me to an install or the Calamaris installer, then that's definitely something that the Linux Lite team needs to work on. Other than that, I just really have no complaints. I wonder now if Linux Mint is the best option for a new to Linux user. It could be, very much could be Linux Lite. There's another one, MX Linux as well, but I'm not talking about MX Linux. I'm talking about Linux Lite. It could very well be that Linux Lite is as good a option as Linux Mint for a typical new user, especially the way they have their menu set up and the control panel or settings panel. A lot of that stuff is done through GUI's, graphical user interface, which is exactly what a new from Windows user is going to look for. So that's going to do it for this video. Give Linux Lite a try. I am. All right, then. Peace out, guys. Bye.